Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, dogs and cats, robots and subhumans, whoever you are, whatever you are, welcome to episode 4 of Special Attack. Today's episode is a real victory for Nintendo fans, specifically Wii U owners, for today is the day you rejoice. Today is the day you learn why you bought a Wii U, because today we're checking out Nintendo's Mario Kart 8 on the Wii U. Oh, mother of God, is this game good. I went out first thing this morning and picked it up. It's fantastic. I've been waiting for this one. This is one of the reasons I purchased my Wii U way back when at release. And I gotta tell you, it just justifies it. And it's so sweet. The taste of victory in a good Nintendo game is just so sweet. So let's jump right into it. The first thing you're going to notice in this game are the graphics. Good God, does Mario transfer over well to the high definition era? Not just Mario, but everyone from the Mushroom Kingdom looks superb in high def. I mean, down to the wiggling mustache on Mario's face, down to the fur on Donkey Kong's back, the smile on Bowser's face as he hurls a fireball across the map. I mean, it just looks fantastic. The carts look fantastic. The wheels as you go on the anti-gravity, the animation as the wheels transform from, standard kart wheels into anti-gravity. Just everything looks ridiculously good, you guys. I mean, just check that out for yourself. It looks great. Mario Kart was definitely meant for an HD television, and I'm glad now after the Wii version's SD garbage that this game just gets the justice it deserves. So, like I said, the character design is just fantastic. The detail is unbelievable, down to the gravel in the street and the cracks in the ice on the snow levels, the snow blowing in your face. It just looks amazing. It really does. And the game shows off what the Wii U is capable of. I mean, maybe it's not as powerful as your Xbox One or your PS4, but I gotta tell you, Nintendo really pulled this one out of their hats, and I feel like this should put somewhat of a fire under the other console makers. Not to say that they don't have enough going on, but I just feel like Nintendo's been the underdog lately, and justifiably so. But I mean, just check it out. This is what they come from. This is Nintendo's roots. So let's talk about what's new in this version. Aside from the gorgeous details and the HD, another big difference is you have weight classes this time around. There are lightweight characters, middleweight characters, and heavyweight characters. And each class will affect your gameplay differently. You'll notice that if you choose one of the bigger guys, you'll have to start drifting around turns a little bit earlier than maybe some of the lighter guys, because the weight, the momentum of your body, you can actually feel it pull your cart around turns, which I just find so impressive, especially in a Nintendo game when, these games can sometimes be considered kind of silly and less realistic. So let's talk about the new changes to the carts themselves and the bikes themselves. Every cart and bike is customizable, and you actually have different stats for each component to your cart. And you can customize that and tweak the carts into different size wheels, different size chassis, different hang gliders, and it'll change your stats according to your playstyle. So if you want to maybe make the cart a little bit higher in its acceleration rate over your top speed, you can do that, and you can really dive in and get into some of the minutia of the cart designs. It's really cool. I think it's a really good addition. I know Mario Kart 7 on the 3DS added that. I think that might be the first one where it actually mattered. I know you could change your cart, some aspects of your cart in the Wii Mario Kart, but it wasn't it wasn't quite to this effect, and it actually matters now. And I'm just really impressed with that. If you couldn't tell, if you can't tell by my gushing over it. So the next thing I want to talk to you about is the items. There are some new items. There's actually 4 new items to be specific, and they come in the form of a piranha plant, a boomerang flower, a super horn, and something called the Crazy 8. All 4 of these new items I think are just fantastic, and they add a lot of new variety to the game. The piranha plant will automatically chomp obstacles and racers that are in front of you. It'll also eat coins for you. It lasts a pretty fair amount of time, and I think it's just a great addition. It's something really cool that seems like it should have fit in, or something that should have been added from the get-go, because the piranha plants were such a prominent part of the Mushroom Kingdom and all the Mario games. So yeah, I just think that's great. The next new item is the boomerang flower, which if you played any of the more recent 3D Mario games, you might recognize, but other people who are more casual, the gamers who only kind of play like, you know, your Mario Karts once in a while and your Call of Duties might not know what it is, but what it is derives from the boomerang suit from the 3D games, and you just kind of like wing it across the map at one another, and you get to do that 3 times before it goes away. The third new item is the super horn, possibly the greatest new addition to the Mario Kart franchise, specifically because that pain in the ass blue shell that comes after you when you're in first place is now no longer a problem. So if you get this super horn, it emits a shock wave that hits racers, obstacles, and items. And if you happen to save it and a blue shell comes your way, you let that thing rip and it just blasts that blue shell right away. Not a problem of yours anymore. Thank God. I always thought that was kind of like unfair. You almost get punished for being in first place, and there's nothing you can do about it, but it's not a problem anymore with this new item. The fourth new item is awesome. I hadn't heard anything about it until I played the game today, and I saw for myself. It's called a Crazy 8. What it does is gives you 8 items, which come in the form of a coin, which gives you a little boost. I don't think I mentioned that, but the coins in this game you want to collect, and they just give you an ever so slight boost, but they add up if you get enough of them. So anyway, back on track. You get a coin, a bob-omb, a mushroom, a star, a green shell, a red shell, a banana, and a blooper, which are the little white squids that shoot ink all over the screen at whoever you shoot it at. So you get all 8 of those items in one shot. You get to use them all. You don't have to pick just one. You can actually use all 8 items. You can just let them rip on one person. You can spread them out throughout the track. You do whatever you want, but it's kind of like equivalent to the lightning. You'll get that when you're in one of the lower places, but it's really awesome. So that's about it for the new items. All the classic items you're used to, the triple green shells, triple red shells, all that stuff is back. The bullet bill from the Wii Mario Kart, that's back as well. Everything that we used to get is all back here as well. Those are just some of the new items. So I want to talk about the new tracks now, which are just gorgeous. I mean, the new tracks are beautiful. The old tracks that they've added back into this game are also just stunning. So there's 8 cups altogether, and I believe 16 new maps and 16 older maps, which come from all the old Mario Kart games. They give you some from the Super Nintendo Mario Kart, the N64 Mario Kart, the GameCube Mario Kart, and the Mario Kart and the DS. But they're not beat for beat the same tracks. They did modify them, and they updated them, and they add in some anti-gravity areas to add in that new feature to their older maps. It's just little small redesigns here and there, so you don't know exactly where you're going if you've played the older games. But they all look great. I mean, I haven't played on a track yet that I was like, not for me. I do have a couple of favorites over other ones. Bowser's Castle, I like a lot. I like Sherbert Land a lot. I've always been a fan of that one. I like Donkey Kong's map. That one was always a personal favorite of mine. So yeah, all the tracks look fantastic. I haven't unlocked them all yet, but it's a lot of fun. They're all a lot of fun. So let's get on to the controls. The game controls fantastic. I really don't know what much else to say about it. The carts control fantastic. Depending on which weight class you pick, you'll notice it different in the way your cart controls. The lighter carts are a little bit easier to maneuver around, and they're a little bit faster. But you'll find if you choose a heavier class of character, you'll have an easier time with handling and traction than you do with the lighter guys. So, you know, it's a give and take. It depends on what style of a player you are, and it depends on what matters more to you, really, if you prefer speed or you prefer accuracy. Pretty much is what it comes down to. But both classes control great, and you can customize the carts, like I said. So even if you are playing as a heavier character like Donkey Kong or Bowser, you can give him a lighter cart to kind of balance him out more. It really all depends on what you're going for, but they leave room for a lot of options. And you can do the same as well for the light and middle class characters. You can give them a heavier cart if you like. So yeah, everything feels the way it should. The heavy guys feel the way they should. The light guys feel the way they should. The medium guys feel the way they should, etc. It just feels great. And another great feature that they brought back to the controls is drifting. Drifting was in the Mario Kart for 3DS. They took it out of the Wii Mario Kart for some reason, I guess in favor of the motion controls, which were such a big hit, right? The motion controls were awful. If you haven't played that game, by the way, they're disastrous. They ruined my joy in playing that game, aside from the terrible looking graphics on everybody's big, beautiful HD TVs. But anyway, drifting is back from the 3DS version, and actually from the 64 version, I believe you're also able to drift, but you get boosts now from drifting. So if you hold on to your drift without bumping into any ledges or rails or anything like that, you'll get a boost out of it. And you know, it adds another dynamic to gameplay. It adds another edge you can get over your opponent if you use it correctly. So yeah, drifting feels really good. And again, depending on what weight class you are, that'll kind of have to factor into when you begin your drifts. But everything controls well. It's, you know, Nintendo knows what they're doing with these Mario Kart games at this point. So let's talk about the game modes. There's your Grand Prix, which everybody who plays Mario Kart knows. It's like your campaign mode. There's Couch Co-op, which in my opinion is the way to play this game. There's Online Co-op, which I'll talk about a little bit more in depth in a second, and I'll show you some of that too. There's Time Trials, which there always has been. You just race against the clock, race against yourself. You can set new records. And then there's Battle Mode. It's not your classic battle mode that you might remember and love. Battle Mode is not fun in this game, to put it plainly. They did away with the design of the dome levels, where you can kind of just like chase after one another and go all over the level and knock balloons off of each other. They sort of just use the levels that are already in the game and send each player in a different direction, and you just try to like pass each other and shoot each other. It's hard to really put my finger on what exactly goes wrong here, but I played it a couple times and I was instantly kind of felt like, okay, back to the racing, because it was awful. I really didn't enjoy it at all. But that's really my only gripe with this game. So yeah, battle mode is nothing to write home about, but I mean, if you bought Mario Kart, chances are that's not what you bought the game for anyway. So let's talk about Grand Prix a little bit more, and the just all the other modes in general, really. There's 50cc, 100cc, and 150cc, which there always is offered in Mario Kart games. I'm not sure if you ever are going to want to play on 50cc. It feels very slow paced. I found it just so easy to crush everybody on 50cc. Granted, I have played almost every Mario Kart game that's ever come out. I love them. I have a lot of experience with them, but I think even for a beginner, 50cc might be a little bit slow paced. So I think if you're new to the game and you want to get experience and you want to gain skill, I definitely think you're going to want to start out on 100cc. And if you're an experienced player and you're in it for the competition with your friends, etc., you're definitely going to want to jump right into 150cc and just don't ever change it from that, because as soon as I put it on 150, I felt that old school gut feeling where I'm just cursing at the TV screen, and really that's as awful as it might sound, that's kind of what you want from this game, because that's what makes it fun, that challenge to beat the other opponents, to beat your friends, and just to get better, beat yourself by getting better. So I would definitely suggest experienced players stick to 150cc. Now, other than battle mode, the only other really negative things I have to say about this game are really small complaints. I feel like the variety of characters could have been improved on. They got rid of dry bones from the other games, and they put a lot of babies in this for some reason. I haven't unlocked everybody. I do know everybody who there is to unlock. I'm not going to spoil that for you if you've managed to avoid that by this long, but yeah, I do know everybody that there is to unlock, and it's just nothing great. I mean, they have this whole library of not just any characters. I know they don't want to use like Link and Samus and everything for a kart racing game, but there's a whole bunch of characters in the Mushroom Kingdom that they could have fit. Even King Boo, the ghost, is not here. I mean, they put a lot of baby versions of characters we already know in this game. I think there's like a metal version of a couple of these characters. I won't spoil any further than that, but yeah, I'm just not crazy about the variety of characters they have going on in this game. The other thing I'm a little disappointed in, which I didn't really expect this to be in it, I just was kind of hoping maybe Nintendo would do it finally, is a controller configuration. I thought it would be really cool, especially if you're playing with the Pro controller, which I am, to just change around the button configuration. I thought that would have been a nice addition. I know a lot of games do that now, and I don't see how hard it could be to program that. But yeah, that's not in here, so you get what you get with the controller scheme. It's not that big of a deal. It's just a little something I felt would be nice to be able to do. I know the acceleration button on the Pro controller is A, which is the right letter button. It just feels weird. I would have much rather used the trigger. I don't know, it just felt off to me. The other small complaint I have is there's no map. I don't believe there was a map in the Wii version. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. I was actually wondering about that. I'm not sure. But I know there was in the N64 version, and I just liked the idea of knowing where you are in the course and knowing who's around you, so you can see if whoever is near you is an enemy or someone you're actually playing with, one of your friends, or just a computer enemy. So yeah, I just thought maybe they could have like a little corner map in your HUD or something. Would be nice. But other than that, I mean, there's not really much else to complain about. My only other hope for this game is that maybe Nintendo, given that they're doing DLC lately, or just kind of dipping their foot into the pool of DLC lately, is that maybe some of these problems could be resolved just with some DLC. I mean, even if they were just able to release some new characters and some new tracks in DLC, I think this game's longevity will be drastically increased. I know I'll be playing this well into the summer. It's one of those games that I just can't help but coming back to it when I beat a game or I got nothing else going on at the time. I'm just always, better play some Mario Kart, kind of pop in that Mario Kart. Especially if you have like a party or you have friends over. It's just such a great game to have. So overall, the game looks amazing. Nintendo's characters are transferring over beautifully into HD. The soundtrack is fantastic. Some of these levels are actually music-based, and as your cart hits different sections of the level, you'll hear different music. It's so cool. So yeah, the soundtrack is great. And the game overall feels like a natural progression of the series. It feels fresh, it feels new, but it still feels like the Mario Kart that we all know and fell in love with. With the exception of battle mode, I feel like Nintendo has taken all of the best features from its franchise and compiled them into just a wonderful experience for the Wii U here. So, dust off your Wii U, steal some money from your parents or your loved ones if you don't have any cash, and no, don't do that. Get a job and get some money, and go buy this game. I love it. Power up your Wii U tonight, put it through its paces over the weekend because Mario Kart 8 is fantastic. In fact, I like the game so much that I'm going to have a new Let's Play Mario Kart 8 for you every day of the week next week. So I'm excited for that. Please come and tune back in and catch those next week. But for today, that's going to do it for episode 4 of Special Attack. Please subscribe. Please remember to like the videos and share them with your friends if you enjoyed what you saw here today. You can also find me on Twitter @thebeast_NJ. And thank you so much for watching.